Hey everybody, welcome to this week's Friday update. So as promised in the previous week, we will be talking about how I was able to come up with a plan and structure to list the shoreline property, sell it in only 5 days, over asking, making it the most expensive cottage sale in a shoreline community. So right off the bat, let's just knock out the rates. You have your 30-year conforming is at a 6.59, very stable in terms of where it's been bouncing off in the last 2 months, sitting mid sixes. It's good to see consistency rather than seeing 7.2 and a 5.8. Much better. Your 30-year jumbo is at a 6.22 right now. Very similar to last week. So again, consistency, that's what we want to see. And if I'm not mistaken, your 30-year FHA is at a 6.2 flat right now. So we will talk about how the shoreline listing went, what I did to list it, what the strategy was, what the blueprint was, what I presented to the seller that made him agree to go with me. Originally, I met them at an open house. I was doing it at my Green Lake listing, met them, we hit it off, had some good conversations. I met them the following day. We started talking, negotiating on how we should properly list it, negotiating on a few things between ourselves. Originally, here is the plan that I kind of came up with to run with it. Was $599 list price. The previous listing that sold was 3 years prior at $450. So it was a very steep appreciation to the property. $599 seemed like a very good price point to be in. I expected it to go significantly over asking towards $650 at $599 due to what the home offered. It was the only one that was renovated with the quality that it had. It was the only one that had a significantly different exterior color to it. The trim was perfect. The backyard was trimmed. We had a gazebo in the back, pavers, quality done, all drained out towards the fence line away from the home. We had a specific little dog section because they had 5 dogs. One American Bully whose head was huge. I first walked in, I saw the dog, I was like, guys, I'm not gonna lie, we might have to negotiate having this dog out of the house when I'm here because this thing is big. But the house smelled not dog infested, so that was a good pointer to me. Because if we didn't want to change out the carpet, didn't want to go through all the hassle, but we did walk through the whole property twice, made a big checklist of what needs to be improved and done before we hit list. So the main thing was paint. They repainted the whole house. They had black trim interior. We went with white trim everywhere. They repainted some cabinets. They had a beautiful coffee nook. We added some tile backsplash there, repainted that section as well. From the major details like paint to the minor stuff as, for instance, grout, making sure that the grout in the shower is nice and clean and spotless. Every minor detail was hit to make sure this home sells for what we're asking for it. We took out the old furniture, put new staged furniture in there. At first they had very large, dark recliners, which is comfortable for them. They're the owners of the house. But for selling purposes, we took that out, put minimalistic staging in there. The reason for minimalistic is because this cottage is 1,097 square feet. It is roughly 100 square feet larger than all the other cottages, only for the sole purpose that my client a year prior blew out the closet wall into the attic space, which is dead space, and converted that into a laundry and a walk-in closet. In the closet, they had California closetry, which was a big hit. It made the closet a lot more revamped in a sense. The home had 3 bedrooms and they had a full redone bathroom, so a full walk-in shower. They had a huge bench and a tub inside there as well. The downstairs was really well. The flooring was well maintained. They did do a full carpet clean. So anything that was going to be listed in this property was going to be top of the line. Made sure it was looking like it was just built, just brand new, perfectly and solid. The property did come, which they left was a Tesla charger, kind of like a sign of, I don't know, kind of like a gift from the old owners to the new owners, which is great. They had a personalized parking spot, and the next one too was reserved for them as well. So that's some interior stuff, exterior stuff that we did to make sure that the property looked perfect. Now, what I actually presented to them was we need to make sure that every single corner, every single street leading up to this house is signed off. Make sure that there's signs, make sure there's some kind of indicator where to go, because as you know, with condos, you can't, it's in a community, so you have to drive through a driveway to get to your condo, and you can't put a listing sign in the front yard. It just wouldn't make sense because you can't see from the street. So we made a lot of indicators from the main major roads that were coming in. I think it was 99 Pacific that was running. I put signs leading into the streets, guiding the people in, signs in the community itself, showing them where to turn, where to go, where the home was located. The photography that we spent on, they did a very, very, very good job. The twilight shots that we did, we had good aerial shots, interior. We took a lot of photos of different angles so that when you're looking at them from any website, Redfin, Zillow, or your agent sends it to you through their platform, you're able to see every point of contact inside the home. So that way when you get in there, you kind of already know the house layout without having to do a full 3D walkthrough of the home. Now, it was very slow because we did list during St. Patrick's Day. So Thursday, we hit list on Wednesday. We had 1 showing on Wednesday, 3 showings on Thursday, 3 showings on Friday. The Friday evening open house, only 1 person stopped by, which was created to say St. Patrick's Day. Saturday was also very slow in terms of showings, in terms of open house, but we had 2 showings that day. Sunday, on the other hand, we had 27 groups show up to the open house and 6 showings. So it was full packed house. Throughout the 4 days that we were on the market, Monday rolled around, we received only 1 offer. We had a lot of, oh, we're planning to submit an offer, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But we received 1 offer. We were listed at $630,000. We were expecting this home to get multiple offers, but we got 1 offer at $620,000. We also did a pre-inspection, so that way we can have that waived and done. But they had an inspection in their offer. They had 1% earnest money, and they also had, obviously, what you want to have is the appraisal contingency. At first, when we looked at the offer, it was not discouraging, but it's not what you want to see. You kind of want to hold off and say, hey, can we get, 2 more days to see if we get more offers? What I did was, the first thing I asked them to not only extend their offer to the following evening, because their offer expired the same evening. Right off the bat, I'm not going to go into details how I properly negotiated to get to what we wanted, but we got them to extend their offer expiration to the following evening. Now, throughout that whole evening, morning time, I negotiated them up from $620 to $640. They waived their inspection. They bumped their earnest money to $16, and they also had waived their appraisal contingency just in case it doesn't appraise at $640,000, and they'll have to come up with the funds to make that difference. Why does that benefit us? The reason why it benefits us is because now, whatever the appraiser says, it doesn't matter for us. It's perfect. That was the most key factor. We're also selling over asking. We're 5 days on market, and now we're off market, pending, no inspection, no nothing. We're just pretty much smooth closing. The closing was supposed to happen. The closing happened last week on Friday, but my clients, who were the sellers and now buyers, couldn't find a property to get in and close on that same day. So we turned around, reached out to them. First, they wanted $1,500 was supposed to be the rent for the rent back. We negotiated down to $0, and we agreed that if they do $0, we'll leave the washer and dryer for them. Kind of just, hey, the new house has a brand new washer and dryer. We don't want to take this one. If it's perfectly where the closet and laundry space was done by my client previously. So they agreed. So on top of getting all of the criteria we wanted in the negotiation, we were also able to benefit from a 0 cost spent on rent back as they progressed to move into their place. And then 2 days ago, we closed on their property 2 days early, which was a big hit for us as well. Now, why talk about this? Well, just kind of for you to gauge what to expect if you do work with me or when you work with me. I'm very meticulous about every little detail that comes in and out. I'm very meticulous about making sure that the structure and the blueprint of from A to Z what it's going to look like, following what I advised them to do and what I suggested them to do, and the idea I brought to them made this the most expensive cottage sold in the Shoreline community within the fastest time. At the same time that we hit list on a Wednesday, property across the street from us, as I don't know if I mentioned before, but they listed it as well, same day, and try to piggyback off of all our marketing, the quality and the hard work that I put into this property. And currently, as I see, they're still on the market because our strategy was 10 times better than what they were presenting for themselves. So if you are interested in selling this particular year, don't hesitate, give me a call. What I'll do for you is I will fully give you a blueprint of what your home will sell for, how to properly list it, and what to expect if we list it and at what time. There's a lot of effort and work that goes into making sure a property sells like this, over asking, make sure a property sells at the price point you want, making sure you net what you want to net. It's not a gamble. I don't gamble with the offers, or I don't gamble with the prices that I list them at. I make sure that all the data backs it, the market backs it, the timing backs it, even the weather backs when we're listing it, because the weather makes a big change on mood. If we list it during a rainy weekend, the traffic we're going to get is small, because condo, you got to walk through exterior just to get to it. It's going to divert a lot of the buyers. This week I don't have any food places for you guys, but I did want to give you an update. Some of you follow me on Instagram and Facebook and have been seeing me start posting day 26. Today's the 28th. Day 26 out of 100, day 25 out of 100. And some asked what that is. So it's a personal challenge that I created for myself to do, to build mental and physical discipline. I'm not going to go into the most of the details, but the two that I focus on is 100 push-ups every single day. They have to be recorded, and you have to record it and send it to your accountability partner every single day for 100 days. And you have to do the ruck walk for 45 minutes every single day while listening to a book or a positive podcast instead of just chatting or whatever. And record that, not record it, but screenshot your time so you have proof that you actually did it, and send it to an accountability partner. There is fines and fees if you fail. Obviously, I don't want to fail because we're a little bit past a quarter of the way into it, and it would suck starting from day one again. But the challenge ends mid-July, which is probably going to be a challenge because we got July 4th, we have June, my birthday's coming up, so it's gonna really suck. But last night, I was up on my feet from like 5 a.m. Had a morning Bible study with the guys, what we do every single week on Thursday. If you are interested in joining, just hit me up. Love to see you there. But from that point on, I got home at like 9:45 p.m. Had a lot of work, and I didn't do my push-ups, didn't do my ruck walk, and didn't do a few other criteria points to it. So at like 10 p.m., I went out, had to go do the ruck walk. Done my ruck walk, put my rucksack down, had to record the push-ups right there in the parking lot. Did them, sent it to my accountability partner before midnight. Got that done and taken care of, so that way I don't get fined for it. So it's just something good to do. If you are interested, I'll send you the link for the rucksack. It hurts on your shoulders for the first time, but it builds a lot of endurance, and your mental discipline to actually get out there and get past the no and do it. But next week we will talk about another property, how we're pending in Edgewood, because I know a lot of you are interested in Edgewood, but a lot of you also see the prices that are in Edgewood. But we're pending on this property, under asking, with whatever we want available to it, the criteria met. We'll touch base on that a little bit. We will also touch base on a few other market things. For example, where is the inventory? Why is there not enough inventory? But yeah, I also will have a food place for you guys next week. I just didn't have time to go and look at any places this week. But until next week, hopefully you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Enjoy the sun. We finally have 75-degree weather, which feels like 100, which is great. So take care, and I'll see you guys next week.